Okay, can you see my slides?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, let me start. Give you a brief introduction about China Campus Network. We are a consortium of 37 Chinese universities, aiming to providing international students with a one-stop solution before, during, and after the studies in China. I think mainly including two parts about academic programs and all the other additional but necessary educational services. That's our basic services provided to all the students. We all know, thanks for President Chen's presentation about why study in China. I think he gave a very wonderful presentation about China, about the benefits of studying in China. We agree very much so, because I think as the second largest economy in the world, and also as the third largest destination to receive international students, I think China is actually your partner for you to invest your education and to build up your future. And very much in this kind of mission, I think 37 of CCN member universities have joined together and committed to helping international students to succeed. This is basically our mission. If you look into details about our members as a consortium, actually, we are very proud to say many of our members are actually standing shoulder to shoulder in the first league of global universities. We talk about a lot of ranking just now. Here, I also want to share the latest QS 2022. We have 10 Chinese universities ranked in top 250. All of them are CCN member universities. If you look at the latest US news ranking for the best engineering universities in the world, and there are also 3 universities, Chinese universities are top 10, but 2 of them also are CCN member universities. You can say we have Harbin Institute of Technology as number 5, Shanghai Jiao Tong as number 10. I think many parents and students are familiar with like MIT, UC Berkeley, or Imperial College of London from US, UK, these leading countries. But I think this is why we're so proud. Many of our members actually standing shoulder to shoulder in the first league. That's some basic information about universities. I know because of the pandemic, actually, many of the current students are studying online. Even for new students, are very looking forward to visit China, study offline, visit the campus. So I'd like to show you a small short video of 2 minutes just to show you CCN member universities, our campus, facilities, student life, to give you a quick glance of that. Okay, I hope all of you enjoyed the video, and I very much hope that all of you can soon visit all the campus by yourselves in China. But as you can see from the video, or even based on your experience, because as a group of 37, all our member universities are very strong and special in their own way, in their own aspects. But there is one common thing, and why 37 called as CCN universities is we share a common educational belief is collectively, we have received like 15% of all the international students coming to study in China. So our member universities received 15% of them. So based on the rich experience, we found that for all the students coming from different worlds to study in China, we think they need to be fully prepared. But the current method, the current preparations are not very enough. And this is why we cause a lot of obstacles or difficulties for students study in China and also to succeed in the studies. Basically, they need to be fully prepared in terms of the language, but also in terms of the academic subjects and also in terms of culture and learning methodologies. But we don't think the current HSK test just to evaluate the general Chinese language would be enough for students to start a degree study in Chinese in a Chinese university in the same classroom with Chinese classmates. And general Chinese is definitely not enough. There are actually a lot of academic gaps we have been identified based on our teaching of international students from all over the world. Let me give you some examples. We see how we see these academic distances. We do see the academic distance between the academic Chinese and general Chinese, because I think many people think, yeah, I know, if I go to study in China, I need to speak Chinese. But there is a huge difference when you come to China to visit China as a tourist. So you may know some Chinese language is enough, but when you come here as a student, you're going to study in a Chinese university in the academic environment. You need academic Chinese. So all these terminologies and definitions and different way of speaking and writing is totally absolutely different from the general Chinese. I have a quote here. Is actually basically a very short paragraph from our business class for economics. I think if we have some students have basic Chinese language today, you can see there are many terms which you don't use for daily life. So you don't actually learn that in general Chinese. And this is why we think this is a gap we need to fill for students. But there is another level of gap is also in terms of our subject knowledge, because pre-universities we do study mathematics, physics, and chemistry for all these subjects. But different countries, we have very different criteria, different curriculum, or different even assessment way to prepare students before they go to the universities. So for any international students, CCN member universities believe that you need to at least prepare your basic subjects to the average level of Chinese high school graduates. And most importantly, you need to study them in Chinese, study mathematics in Chinese. So there is also a lot of terminology and way of expression and formatting thing for students to fill in the gap. That's number two. I think lastly, but not least, and also very intangibly, is the culture difference. Because when you are moving from a very different location to China in the academic situation, you are actually following all the format of Chinese culture protocol, how to join the discussion, how to seek for help, how to do research, how to even handle the conflicts, which will definitely happen every day, whenever you are with your peer students or even with your professors. So this kind of culture gap also need to be filled to enable you to succeed in your future study. Basically, based on this kind of belief, and CCN all the universities have joined together. We launched a program called International Foundation Program to fill the purposes to help all the international students to get fully prepared in terms of the language, in terms of the academic subjects, and in terms of the culture. So the foundation program, which President Chen and also our students, graduates mentioned just now, has been jointly developed by all 37 member universities and also recognized. If the students have taken the course and the result of the IFP will be the solely sufficient academic criteria we need for you to be admitted into the degree program or even to award the scholarships. So this is basically what CCN is doing to help with the students, our main program as IFP. After 7 years of offering our foundation programs, now CCN, we're proud to say that we are the biggest foundation provider for international students in Chinese market, apart from the government scholarship program. We are the biggest one. So we are very confident today or continuously to offer the CCN Foundation Program to all over the world, the students, and to offer the following benefits about why you choose CCN IFP. We think we offer the worldwide recognitions and best quality of foundation education to you. If you join CCN IFP, you actually are going to join a huge group of more than 33,000 students from 15 countries across the world. So based on, I think until this July 2022, we have actually more than 3,200 IFP students graduated and successfully progressed to 37 CCN member universities doing the degree programs in a wide range of subjects. And in terms of the opportunities, because of they have achieved a very outstanding IFP results and they enjoy a lot of opportunities for the best scholarships for the academic excellence. If you want to understand who actually are in this community, you can say all these over 3,000 students, our graduates are actually from more than 15 countries, but we have 1/3 of them from Southeast Asia. So mainly including students from Indonesia, Thailand, and Malaysia. And then another 1/3 is actually from Europe, is we have a lot of, majority of students coming from Russia and Poland. And of course, some of them are from Latin American, from Mexico. So you actually enjoy a very wide range of alumni as a whole total community of IFP. I think the wide students distribution recognized the acceptance of IFP as quality being well received by the markets and by all the students from different countries. But why? I think mainly because of the best quality of the foundation education we offer. I think first of all is if you want to, as the biggest one and as the best one, you need to have the best educational ideas and methods. Because we enjoy such a big group of students with such a diversity from different countries, we have standard curriculum and methods to teach them. But we also very, very importantly is developed into a country-specific way. Is we need to understand that students from Indonesia, the needs and the way of learning and what kind of support they need will be very different from the students from Russia and from Mexico. Even after IFP, we continue to offer continuous support when students are actually in year one, degree year one, because we feel like all this bridging part of that is CCN will be always there. It's a very essential stage for students to stabilize themselves and moving into the different level. Of course, people always talk about teachers. We have best IFP teachers. I think we are always proud to share that many of our foundation teachers teaching international students are actually from the first group in developing and teaching foundation program in China ever since, I think since 2005 That's actually when the whole country is starting to offer foundation education to any international students. Apart from teachers, basically facilities, we have our global digital campus. Of course, I think this is mainly developed because we have the pandemic situation and all the offline teaching stopped. So we quickly developed the digital campuses to streamline all the teaching and learning online. I believe that later on we have two graduates, FP graduate, outstanding graduates are going to share a lot of more the learning experience online. But this is what we think will be very important to the quality of the students. But what I want to emphasize here is it's nothing because the digital campus would be using only for online. But even when I think the new students are afraid to come to China to do offline, the digital campus will be a very important facilities, which nobody else is doing. Is we're only doing this for our foundation students to make sure all the data students learning behaviors and all your outcomes, exams are recorded as a big database. So teachers will be easier to identify each student's problems or difficulties. So the teaching and learning will be smarter. That will be a strong component of all the future IFP teachings because we have such a best facility. Last, also very importantly, is the quality assurance. As we introduced just now, is we actually have more than 3,000 students doing IFP in different locations in 10 university IFP centers. So we do have very rigid, robust quality assurance policies to make sure all the teaching in different centers are up to the same level. And when you have the IFPA from this center and also with another student from another center getting an A, make sure you are actually the same quality. So that this is why I cannot emphasize enough is this is why all your results can be the solely sufficient criteria for university to say, okay, I accept these students based on IFP results. I even award like level 1, level 2, level 3 scholarships based on the IFP results. So we do have the confidence in the IFP results is because we have a very strong quality assurance system applied to support all the final outcome and the final results of that. The second biggest benefits, I think many of our students will enjoy and also are very popular is we offer a wide choices and guarantee. I think both of them are equally important. In terms of wide choices, I think it's very obvious because we are consortium. So in terms of universities, you will be able to choose one of 37 universities. In terms of geographical locations, no matter you are a big fan of like Beijing, Shanghai, of the first tier, city, big city, or you want to study in a culturally famous and rich city like Xi'an. For example, some people want to study in the south because, I'm from Indonesia. I want to study in the south, like a similar situation. But probably some students will say, I want to experience difference. I want to study in the north, which is very different from my country at home. So this, no matter what you like, I think there is an option for you because we are provide 37 options for you. But nothing only about the location is, another one is in terms of the programs. So 37 universities collectively provide you hundreds of undergraduate and postgraduate degree programs for your choice in business, science, engineering, and humanities. But we think, the more is better, but it's not the more is always better, is we always encourage our students is when you have such a, wide choices, you need to know how to make your choice. So basically, how we link your current program with your future career, what would be the most demanded talents for Indonesia in the following 4 or 5 years, and why you come to study this program in China, so then you must choose some program China is especially good at. And this is why we also selected a lot of, very highly recommended programs for our students to choose for business. Not only do very general like IB, I think many international do, but we recommend a lot of digitalized program. This is all because of the digital economy era is coming. So China in this way has presented a lot of strength and application in the industry. So when you come to China, you do cross-border e-commerce, digital marketing, big data. So these kind of programs we think will most benefit our students. And then you choose science and engineering, IoT engineering, AI, software engineering. So these kind of programs are highly related to digital, the era of digital economy, even humanities. So when you do journalism, but we have digital media and digital communication and journalism, even business Chinese, which is related to how the bilateral communication between your country and China. This is why when we offer wide choices for the students, but also give very specific recommendations and guidelines about how you should make your choices when there are too many. While you have many choices, I think the most important thing CCN has been trying to do is also to provide guarantee, just to make sure the actual benefits will be enjoyed by IFP students. So we developed these guarantee terms for all our IFP graduates. As long as you have completed IFP program successfully, so if you have achieved the average of 60%, and you will be guaranteed to be admitted by at least one of CCN member universities. But in terms of scholarships, if you are achieving higher, like for students achieving the average of 75, and you will be guaranteed with 100% scholarship opportunities. But if, as many of our outstanding graduates here today, like the girl student talked, and then we're going to have another two share with you. If you'll be able to achieve outstanding ones, either above 85 or 90, and then you will be able to enjoy even higher level of scholarships. I think the guarantee here we want to emphasize is we have a very strong belief is we want to reward the best academic performance. So it's nothing about scholarships we're proud of. It's actually the academic performance achieved by IFP students we are proud of. So if you can hear me clearly, I'm going to continue to share some general data about it because we have just completed the academic year of 2021-22. So we will be able to share that out of all those 3,000, we have more than 2,000 IP graduates successfully progressed to 30 CCN member universities. But what kind of university have they progressed? Because when we say we have so many, and then actually with the majority of the students go to the premier university in the group, yes, that is actually the current distribution. If you can see the top 5 of them, I think 4 of the universities are the first league of Chinese universities. We called 985, 985 or 211 universities, like 247 going to Shanghai universities, 170 going to NPU, Xi'an Jiaotong, Jiangsu, and Tianjin universities. So basically, this is some very positive and encouraging numbers which our students have achieved, which means that IP students have been very popular. But even more encouraging is if you look at all this more than 2,000 students graduated successfully, more than 90% of them have been gotten the chance to receive the scholarships, and more than 40% with full scholarship, which is A0. And as President Chen introduced, 100% tuition pay plus either accommodation or as a living allowance. So basically, again, I want to emphasize, we don't want to just emphasize about the scholarship and money, but we want to say is if you join, if you try everything, try your best, and then you will be rewarded with the best university, with the best scholarship. So that's the true value of IFP. I think the third benefit we're offering will be especially important for the new students. We have been offering IFP full-time for our international students for 6 years, which means if you are a high school year 3 students, you graduated from your high school, you take 1 year's time or half year's time to join IFP full-time, doing 36 weeks or 18 weeks of program, getting ready, getting your offer, getting your scholarship, going to Chinese universities to study. But if now we have in the audience, we have students, still in high school year 1, but you do want to start all your preparations for studying China as early as possible, and studying Chinese and doing foundation courses. And you can start now by taking our part-time IP programs. We ranging from 2 years or even 3 years or even longer. I don't know whether we have students from junior high school, middle school, but this is basically the idea we offer both model of that to efficiently help any students who are planning to go to study in China to get prepared efficiently in the most efficient way. And when you look at part-time, when you are doing, while you are doing your high school study, you are doing IFP preparations, we think there would be a lot of benefits because you don't have to wait because you're ready right after you graduate from your high school. So because you engage earlier, there will be stronger academic preparations to be achieved if you're doing this way. In terms of the time, it's safer. But the way we say safer is actually how this kind of study route going to be successful for you. Because for some students will say, oh, if I choose to do this full-time, and I must face a lot of pressure from academic and also from life, because different culture, different country. So if I do part-time, I'm doing all the preparations in my home country. So I don't need to handle all the pressures at the same time. I will just focus on Chinese language and academic gradually and then moving into another country. So for many students or parents will say, oh, this is a better, safer way for my kids to get ready for studying abroad. Even quicker, I don't need to mention this because you don't need to wait for 1 or 2, half a year's time. You can just go right after you graduated from your high school. And because you are doing this, I think we are allowing students to pay by different installments for the short period of the program. So there would be lower financial threshold. And this is why starting from last year, we started to offer IFP part-time to all students from different countries. We think that's going to be equally important choices for many of the students to choose. So basically, no matter full-time, part-time, I think we are trying to, based on our teaching and communication experiences, we're trying to develop more programs to help our international students succeed. This is the mission of China Campus Network. I'm going to summarize my introduction about CCN now and invite my colleague Anna to introduce more details about the CCN programs, about how long it is and what kind of curriculum courses you are going to study, and what about assessment? Will that be different from your Indonesia high school or your primary education? So this kind of information are also very important to you. But before I hand over, I just want to say I look forward to meeting all of you in China in very soon. But before that, please do stay safe. Thank you very much.